With last week's chapter ending with a Nagi goal ending the 4v4 match, it meant that both Nagi and Baru finally stopped having schizophrenic nightmares about Isagi. With the second selection finally over, watch till the end to find out what's in store for Nagi, but also for Reo, as this chapter shows us the 2v2 game against Shidou. The chapter opens up with Kiora, Karasu and Otoya, another random no-name, all looking shocked after seeing Nagi's goal. We then see the reaction of Nagi's team all celebrating with Zantetsu jumping on Nagi's back and Chigiri on the floor. But Baru doesn't seem too impressed despite being the one that passed the ball. Nagi then goes over to our favourite femboy and checks if his legs are okay by asking if he needs a doctor. But Chigiri explains that he's fine and it's just a cramp. But he then asks why Nagi didn't take a regular shot. Nagi and Baru share a very intimate panel together where Nagi explains that the shot wasn't pointless, but rather it was to shape their dream, to which Zantetsu's brain looks fried by. We then see them pan to the losing team, asking about who they should take from the team. This is when Four Eyes and the femboy start glazing over Karasu.
What do you mean by that?
Calling him extremely intelligent and that he would help complete their team. Baru doesn't care who they pick, but just as they're about to select Karasu, Nagi stops them and straight up aura farms on them. Then, due to his withdrawal symptoms from Reo, he turns into a couples counsellor for Otoya and Karasu as he doesn't want to split them up. This confuses everyone, with Chigiri asking what he means. He answers Chigiri by saying Karasu and Otoya's link up was the most amazing part of the match. He tells them that he wants to fight against them again, to which Karasu thinks Nagi is pitying him. Then we get this unreal artwork on the panel where Nagi does his best Slur Sagi impression and tells him to come crush him in the future. Nagi then understands that frustration is why his ego grew due to Isagi, so Nagi becomes the group leader going against everyone's decision and selects Kiora Jin to join them. He calls him a pipsqueak and says that isn't it frustrating that he's the one who gets to let him live, to which Kiora does not look pleased by. They then walk off and we are left with the three losers and a crow. I didn't know Itachi was in the manga, but Otoya and Karasu both think Nagi is a nice guy and that he's soft. They then both vow to make him regret it, with us seeing their auras flow from their eyes as they return to the 3v3 stage. We then flash back to 48 hours earlier to the Reo and Kunigami vs Shidou in the monk game. Sorry, quick break in the video, but the channel is exploding right now, so it would really be appreciated if you like and subscribe to the page, as it really helps boost the algorithm. Thank you for all the support. We see Reo and the monk running head on with each other. The monk then passes the ball to Shidou, where we see Kunigami sprint after him. We see Shidou's demon wings and Kunigami's aura clash as they collide together. Kunigami thinks to himself he can steal the ball, but the Lord of Zest himself flips past him, licking his lips, who then smashes a volley from outside the box, while saying to Kunigami he smashes up heroes like him, and everyone looks shocked at the goal. The game ends at 5-2 to Shidou's team, where Reo thinks that Shidou is a monster and that he's a different breed to even the likes of Nagi. Both Kunigami and Reo look crushed, thinking about a way they could have won, but Reo realises his judgment was completely crushed. Reo then also deals with his withdrawal symptoms from Nagi and starts thinking about Nagi and how that his time in Blue Lock may be over, saying this all started when he started being indecisive. The monk then asks who they should pick, suggesting they should flip a coin to pick, but to which Shidou says that he doesn't care, but then quickly retracts his statement as he wants to be the person to decide the loser's fate. He says the one to live on will be Purple Top Knot. In other words, Reo's in and Kunigami is out. He mocks Kunigami, calling him a condom. Like, bro, why is everything gotta be so zesty with him? He tells Kunigami that Reo is better, for as long as he acts like a hero he will never win, as humans like him can never make explosions. He then hits Kunigami with a nasty side eye. And for the first time in episode Nagi, we see emo Kunigami, who tells Reo to just leave him, which makes Reo very upset. Like, I'm sorry, can we please get a psychiatrist in Blue Lock or something? Because this guy starts hating on himself. Like, how is your D1 hater going to be yourself? Reo is there, calling himself a trash loser. But I'm so glad we finally got to see the Kunigami vs Shidou game properly, and see how Reo was selective, as is a massive point in the anime that's pretty quickly glossed over. The manga then switches back to Nagi's team walking to the end of the second selection, just like we saw Isagi do in the anime. They enter a dark room that should look pretty familiar if you watch season 2 of Blue Lock, where a TV flashes on the screen with Ego saying hello. He congratulates them on clearing the second selection, but it doesn't last long, as he says he has a quiz for them. He asks them what is the only thing humans know compared to other living creatures, with none of them answering correctly, and even Zantetsu and Nagi didn't even try. Eventually Nagi says dreams, to which Ego says the answers weren't completely wrong, but there's more to it. He says the answer is that they know they won't live forever, whereas animals like rabbits live because they're programmed to, whereas humans know their lives are finite, which is where dreams come from, the self-actualization of this. Nagi then reflects on his time in the second selection and how he became stronger, as he wasn't just chasing after a dream, rather he felt like he was chasing because he was about to lose, and he gained a new feeling which improved his technique and ego. He thinks to himself he can finally beat the person he cheated on Reo with, Isagi Yoichi, which despite whilst not being in his own manga, still manages to pull off puzzle piece aura farming. Like, bro, save that for your own manga. We then get the fan service we've all been waiting for, Chigiri in the shower. It's just Reo. Well, that's disappointing. But there's no surprise as Reo was thinking about Nagi in the shower, with Shidou also sneaking in there, which makes sense given the circumstances. Reo finally realises he needs to get stronger on his own, but if any of you are caught up with the current Blue Lock manga, you know that this ain't true and he still can't get away from Nagi. Unfortunately, the shower scene ends, and we cut back to Ego telling everyone about the third selection and saying it will be a training camp with the world's top players. We're then shown the World 5 match that shocks everyone, with Nagi thinking he has a chance to prove himself, and the panel focuses on Julian Loki. And thank your lucky stars, because Reo is back in the shower, with the final panel stating that it's time for someone who can dream of becoming the best on his own. The next chapter is titled Flapping Wings, which whilst I assume would continue into the World 5 game, I think it may actually focus back on Reo's story, as he's playing with Shidou because Shidou has wings as his aura. But what are your thoughts on the next chapter? Oh damn, that was a good chapter. Even though there was no match, I quite enjoyed it, and I think you know why I quite enjoyed it. But let's review and comment your favourite part of the chapter. We started off with everyone's reaction to Nagi's goal, where Nagi showed off his true ego and overruled everyone by selecting Kiora, which now we know why he hates Nagi. It would have been nice to see them interact in the NEL, but we never got a chance to see that as Kiora didn't come off the bench in the Munchen game. We finally saw Kunigami actually get eliminated, which is massive because obviously this was the biggest point from the second selection arc. When Kunigami didn't walk through the doors, everyone was shocked. But we finally see how he becomes Cheeks and Emo in the manga, so it kind of means a lot less now. Finally, we saw that Nagi will play against the World 5 in the next couple of chapters, which I don't know how long that game will go on for, as the World 5 is meant to destroy the other team, but I feel like next chapter we're not going to see that anyway. I think I'll be focusing more on Reo and Shidou, which I'm quite excited to see because I'm a massive Shidou fanboy. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you're interested in any of my other content, they're on the screen now. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to never miss an upload, and look out for my future videos. Thank you.